Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is again a part 3 of the Learn React Easy Way series, and in this small video I'm going to demonstrate how we can use conditional rendering. Like for example, you want to use a ternary rendering or you want to use an if-else-if conditional rendering. So that's what we can do within any React component. So technically the conditional rendering can be done by two operators. One is the ternary operator and the second is with the help of an if-else-if conditional rendering. So let's get started. I'll demonstrate both of them within the same series that have been following it. So if you have not watched my previous videos, please do watch the part 1 as well as the part 2. This is in continuation of the the same series, but part 3, that is the conditional rendering. Stay tuned. So let's firstly check out how we can use the ternary operator to display something within the React component. Let me define a variable, let's say, which has a value of 20. Now, ternary operator basically checks out for two conditions. If it is a true, then it does something, and if it is false, it does something. So let me take another variable, display text is equal to, and I'll say if a is equal to, let's say, 20, then you want to do is, let's say, number a is equal to 20. This is something I want to do if it is a true condition, and if it is not a true condition, means it's false, then what I really want to do is, we don't know the value of a. Let's say that's what we want to do. So this is a very basic example of a ternary operator which we can use. Now the ternary operator is exactly satisfying a condition based upon the expression, and then it is putting the value within the display text. So either the display text would be getting the value a is equal to 20, or it would be getting a value, we don't know the value of a, but here because we already know that a is equal to 20, so the display text would be a is equal to 20. Now as the variable has got the value, now what we can do is we can actually display that. So we'll say h3, I can use that, and because it's a variable, so I can just display the value of that within the React component. And if you just go back, check it out, so you can just see a is equal to 20, which definitely makes sense. And now if I change the value, let's say make it 21, so which is not equal to 20, and if you go back, so it just changes that, we don't know the value of a. So the hot reloading is functioning and it does display that value. So that's what the ternary operator does. Now let's move on to the second conditional rendering, which is more likely an if condition based rendering. So how we can use that? So let me declare another variable, let's say learning language. Let's say learning is equal to JavaScript. So what I'm doing over here is, it's more likely a small variable learning, and I'm assigning a value called as JavaScript. Now I want to use an if condition. So if I say if learning is equal to JavaScript, so then what I want to do is this, else if it is not true, then I want to do something, the other case. Now here I can display using the same variable which I use display text at line number 30, or I can create another variable, but let's use the same variable. So I'll say display text is equal to, so what I'm gonna do over here is I'll say h2, I'll use an hashtag, and you are learning, let's say JavaScript. So that's what I really want to do. Now here I'm specifying the value of this display text in the form of a tag also and some text also that would be rendered within the React component, and this can also be used with the help of other React components which we have not discussed. So let's say if I have another React component and I want to render that within the parent component as a child component, which we'll discuss in the coming videos, so we can do that also. So if it is a true condition, you do this, and if it is a false condition, so let's say display text is equal to, we'll just simply say h2, we are learning, let's say C# or some another language. So now display text would have a value based upon JavaScript, and though we did use the display text over here, but it is gonna override the value because this particular code would execute and it would change the value of the display text. So let's go back and check it out. So if you see, you are learning JavaScript, and if I just go back and change that, so let's say I say JavaScript 1, so it automatically changes to the else condition. We are learning C# because exactly we changed the value of that. So guys, this is a very small video which I wanted to create because in the previous video we already discussed how to render the data like arrays, objects or anything, but sometimes we just need to make some conditional renderings, or we want to use some ternary operators. So I wanted to demonstrate that because this is in alignment to the displaying of the data. So I hope this video would be a good one learning for you in order to display some if condition based data, or rendering of certain components or child components based upon certain conditions, or even like using a ternary operator. So stay tuned guys, I'll be coming up with another video part 4th of this, and I'll be continuing with the same as soon as I get some time and create those videos for you. Wish you all the best. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world.